listening to Earth Oddity, a weekly odyssey into all the oddity planet Earth has to offer. And now, serving it up are Christopher Tiny Sullivan and John Long.
John, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How about yourself?
It is very wet outside, but
extremely.
I'm super excited to be sitting in here in the studio ready to get into another episode. This has really become a highlight of my week.
Yeah, me too, which I don't know if that's sad or awesome, but yeah, it's great.
Shout out to
Tammy Coker.
This is hot. This is news. This is breaking hot news
in the Earth Oddity Facebook group. She took some pictures of, I guess this was the super blood blue full moon or whatever it was, but
super blue blood moon, I think is what they call it.
There's definitely something else in the picture, and she was just wondering what we thought it was. Mm-hmm. And
well, clearly it's a UFO.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, Tammy, that is a UFO. There are probably maybe I would say aliens. It could be military, but probably aliens that are hanging out in the skies over Oxford, Alabama.
Yeah, I consider myself a skeptic, but after I took a quick glance at the photos, I didn't have time to pour over them, but I'm convinced.
Oh, well, see, you see right here, it's in motion. That thing's moving.
It is.
So that's definitely, I'm going to say with 99% certainty, that is a UFO. And
so everybody in the listening audience, if you want to see a UFO, go to the Earth Oddity Facebook group, and you can see the pictures for yourself.
Right. Click like on it so she know you checked it out.
Yeah. And discuss, because I haven't had a chance to comment on it yet. But
no, it's definitely a UFO.
Yeah. Aliens over Oxford, Alabama.
Aliens over Oxford. It's going to break. That's going to be the next story we have to cover next week.
Yeah. Maybe we'll even get interviewed by like the New York Times or somebody.
Right, that's right. And
I would love that.
My sister-in-law lives over, well, not in Oxford, but they go to Oxford a lot. They're actually from East Aboga, Alabama. Mm-hmm. Shout out to all our fans in East Aboga. And so they hit up Oxford a lot. So I'll have to ask her if she's noticed any little green men or grays or
cattle mutilations.
Yeah.
Do they have any cattle over there?
Oh, they actually do have cows.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, cows and horses and all kind of good stuff. Yeah, so that definitely happened. But yeah, so Tammy, just shout out to you, and sorry that the aliens are following you, but maybe they're friendly. I mean, they could have came to you because you are the most intelligent life form in Oxford.
Most, not all, but most alien abductees claim that there's some kind of special plan,
right?
And that's why they're dealing with them and their families.
That's right. Yeah, they don't go to some Joe Blow like me.
No,
they go and find the people who really matter. So
yes.
Tammy, we appreciate you
That's
being
why we haven't interviewed any extraterrestrials on this show yet.
Not yet.
But fingers crossed.
This might be the door opening for that. So,
well, speaking of extraterrestrials, guess who we're fixing to talk about?
Who was that?
Elon Musk.
Eventually transform Mars into an Earth-like planet. The fast way and the slow way. The fast way is drop thermonuclear weapons over the poles.
You're a super villain.
Now, is it true his name is Elon Musk is short for elongated muskrat?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Just making
Absolutely,
sure.
100% confirmed. This may be kind of old news by the time you hear this, but he launched his car. He launched his car into orbit last week.
Well, I mean, if you
believe that sort of thing,
yeah, right, yeah. If you believe that happened.
Yeah, it was a big deal because this was their first launch of the Falcon Heavy rocket, which is one huge rocket and then two Falcon 9s stacked side by side.
Right.
And, of course, the whole thing launches up into space, and then it comes back down and lands right on the pad that it launched from.
Yeah, no, the landing part was the most, I mean, I guess not the most impressive thing to me, but it was certainly impressive.
It's amazing we live in a time where they've done this now, 9 or 10 times? Right. It's kind of becoming second hat now.
It's like, oh, well, yeah, no,
that
no
this
big
big,
deal.
huge skyscraper can come down out of space and land.
It coordinated with the other one, too.
It's amazing. The reason he did this was because they were testing the rocket, and typically it says here that there's a what they call a mass simulator, which is basically just a dummy payload. That they launch into space. Which Mr. Musk, he decided instead of launching a Muskrat, Mr. Muskrat, instead of launching a mass simulator, let's just put my car
right
in there and launch that into orbit, and it'll be like a huge advertising for Tesla.
Tesla, yeah, I mean,
which is his other company.
That's really what it was, like a big cross promotion.
Yeah. They also had a one of their own spacesuits, by the way. It's like a dummy in a spacesuit sitting in the car that they called the Starman, and they were blasting David Bowie's Space Odyssey.
Of course.
And it's not just...
I think that was a nod to us, too. We discussed that last week.
Yeah. And not only is this just it's not just going to be in Earth's orbit. This car is on its way to Mars.
Right?
And it's going to be in a Martian orbit.
Right. And then I hope he captures it, lowers it to Mars, and then remote control drives it around Mars with our rover. There's rovers that are already there.
Yeah.
If you believe that's not a elaborate hoax put on by NASA and everything
Well,
else.
I think we all know out there, there's a lot of people who think the Earth is flat, and then there's other people who think it's round. Everyone in our audience knows it's really square. It's a cube.
That's right.
That's the true shape of the Earth.
Exactly right.
Mr. Eric Berger of Ars Technica, he said no company has ever launched a private payload beyond geostationary orbit before, Berger said, referring to an orbit roughly 22,500 miles above the Earth. The Holman transfer orbit is critical to understanding how Musk plans to sell the rocket and what its flight after all these years of waiting means for the aerospace industry. Says that it cost $90 million to launch the rocket, which that sounds like a lot of cheese, but it used to be that's a third of what all their competitors
that's like
charge.
Walking around change for him. Though.
Yeah,
that's pocket money. He's got that on him.
The reason it's so much, which I know we're talking about $90 million, but it used to cost hundreds of millions of dollars to launch stuff into space. The reason it's so cheap now, well, I say cheap, is all their rockets are reusable now, which is amazing. You're paying for fuel. And I mean, you're paying the salaries of all these people to actually do it. But you know what I'm saying? Is used to, everything was lost just about.
Oh, yeah. We'd send it up and then it was done. Except, the shuttle was like probably one of the biggest engineering feats.
But there was still, I think 30% of it was reusable. It was basically just the shuttle itself.
Right, yeah, just the shuttle. And they had to replace like the heat tiles just about every time and all that, yeah.
So he really is, completely changing the aerospace industry.
Yes. I mean, hats off to Mr. Musk,
Mr. Muskrat.
Which would be his nickname if he and I hung out for sure.
He's got a quirky sense of humor. I think that we would get along. If he would never, come.
Maybe we need to tweet him and be like, hey, can we just get you to do you're listening to Earth Oddity.
Maybe we catch him at just the right time, and he's like, his quirky sense of humor. He's like, I need to go on this.
This two dudes.
Yeah. Which we are the best podcast you've never heard of.
Yes,
anyone out there who has friends, tell them Earth Oddity is the best podcast you've never heard of before.
Exactly.
That's our tagline.
I like that. But yeah, I could see him landing in the parking lot in like a jet suit, getting out, coming in and hanging out with us. So, but I don't know if Elon Musk has anything on Mad Mike Hughes.
He might be more our speed.
Yeah, I believe we can get Mad Mike on. This comes to us from USA Today, and this is Mad Mike Hughes cancels rocket launch to prove Earth is flat.
Wow, I feel like we've been through this before.
Well,
but anyway.
A man who believes Earth is flat and was ready to launch himself from a rocket in California on Saturday afternoon to prove it has canceled his plans, at least for now.
Okay.
He didn't have the required federal permits, plus he had mechanical problems with his motorhome / rocket launcher. And that forced, he's a self-taught scientist, Mad Mike Hughes, to put his experiment on hold.
Right.
Daredevil limousine driver Mad Mike Hughes is shown with his steam-powered rocket constructed out of salvage parts on a 5-acre property that he leases in Apple Valley, California. And he was planning to launch his homemade contraption at a speed of roughly 500 miles per hour. But here's the holdup, and this is why he was not able to do it. The U.S. Bureau of Land Management told me that they would not allow me to do the event, at least not at that location, Hughes said in a YouTube announcement. It's been very disappointing, he said. So
them.
Yeah. So the government is keeping him down here. Hughes is a 61-year-old limo driver who spent the last few years building a steam-powered rocket out of salvage parts in his garage. His project has cost him $20,000, cheaper than Elon Musk, I'll say that.
Yeah.
And it includes Rust-Oleum paint to fancy it up and a motorhome he bought on Craigslist that he converted into a ramp.
Here again, I'm thinking Spaceballs.
Well, you also see on the side he's got painted Research Flat Earth, and you got MadMikeHughes.com there if anybody wants to check out Mad Mike. He looks like a pretty down-to-earth dude, no pun intended. But he said plans have been in the works for more than a year, and that it was the BLM told him that it was up to the FAA to approve the launch, and the FAA told him, we can't honestly approve it. We just know that you're going to do it there, which they're giving him the runaround. What does that even mean? I don't know. They're giving him the runaround. Well, it means they don't want him to find out the Earth's flat is what it means. And so as news of the plans to launch began to spread, BLM, Bureau of Land Management, not Black Lives Matter, began to push for permits. And he said, Hughes says here, we want everyone to stay tuned. Adding, he has set up a YouTube page where he posts updates, and his plan is to try again next week. And, the fact that his motorhome / rocket launcher broke down.
Yeah.
Which, I mean.
Bummer.
I know he's a daredevil / limo driver. If you can't keep your motorhome running, I don't know that I would trust the engineering on your rocket that's going to shoot you into, I guess you can't say orbit if the Earth is flat. Just shoot you up in the air so you can tell everybody. How's he going to document it too?
Surely he's got a GoPro. They're not that expensive. The
flat Earth people say you can't use a GoPro because it's got like a curved lens or something, and it makes it look curved.
Huh.
So yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like for a fraction of the cost, he could get a weather balloon and 4 or 5 iPhones, strap them to the side.
Well, apparently they, air quotes here, they won't let you.
Well, no, of course they don't, because they don't want us to know that the Earth's flat.
Here's my thing. Government, Big Brother, just let him launch his rocket.
You got to.
It's his dream.
Right.
And you're just feeding into the conspiracy when you shut him down,
Well, yeah, and like I was saying, if I was him, I'm not asking permission. Yeah. I'm shooting it up. But like I said, too, I guess our anti-missile defense system or whatever can blow him out of the air. But the chances he's going to live through that anyways are pretty slim, I would think. If you got a motorhome as your launch pad. Then,
right.
I've seen some rednecks engineer some really amazing stuff in my life. Stuff that you would go, wow. The most sophisticated, trained engineer would never think to use a cooler full of ice and a hose running through it with a fan to make an air conditioner in their pickup truck. Never would have done that because the air's out or whatever. But this redneck has figured it out. 7 beers deep on a Saturday night, he started this project in his garage, and I guarantee that's what Mad Mike did too.
Yeah.
So one day he's like, boom, I'm about to prove the Earth's flat, and I'm going to make me a thing. So,
well, I don't want to question the guy's sincerity, but I've read in earlier articles, because this is a story I've actually followed. We just haven't had a chance to talk about it on the show yet. I think he's actually gotten some funding from some flat Earth people out there, and so I don't know if he's using this as a means to get funded, or if he truly believes that the Earth is flat. I don't think it matters. I think we just need to let him launch his rocket. Let the dude launch his rocket.
Launch it. You want to go up, go up. And then
maybe they could have like some medical emergency personnel on hand for when he comes falling back down to Earth.
It's a steam powered, so there's a chance it could explode. Like steam engines used to explode or whatever. But I feel like you don't have that combustible fuel element, so maybe you won't blow up. But
what this guy needs is a Patreon page, because I would kick in $5.
Yeah, right.
And I think there's probably at least 100 people out there, probably more than that.
There's
what
more
I'm
than
saying.
that.
People would kick in $5 to see him do this, whether you believe in a flat Earth or not.
The flat Earth lobby, like that group of people, is way bigger than you would think, because I've debated them before online. And
trying to prove to them that the Earth is cube shaped, and they just won't hear it.
And I've just gotten to where it's just really not even worth discussing it with them because they're not changing their opinion. Right. I'm not changing my opinion, so we're just here. And really, to me, in the grand scheme of things, whatever shape the Earth is, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to live and die on it regardless of what shape it is. So I'm just going to handle my business here like I'm supposed to. So, but yeah, I mean, props to Mad Mike. I hate the man is shutting him down. You know, I know. Those people who don't want it to happen, air quotes included. So maybe he'll get up in the air. Maybe his motorhome will work next week and he can launch it.
I hope so. Well, I have another story here from USA Today. And the headline here is Man Steals Car Outside Minnesota Walmart and then calls the owner for help. Here we go. St. Cloud, Minnesota. A thief who stole a woman's car outside of a Minneapolis Walmart Monday night called the owner because he was having trouble starting it, according to a criminal complaint filed in Stearns County District Court.
All right.
According to Sartell, Minnesota police, and according to the police report, the car owner told police she auto-started her car from inside the store that evening to warm it up.
Right.
But instead of coming out of the store and finding it warmed up, she found it gone.
Wow.
The car was eventually found in Isle about an hour away, along with a man suspected of stealing it. Walmart video surveillance showed a man driving away with the vehicle at around 8:35 p.m. He was later identified as 37-year-old Edward Leroy Wilson, the police report said. About 10:30, the owner, and this is where it gets kind of strange, so maybe you out there in the audience can help me understand this. About 10:30 p.m., the owner received a call from a woman saying that there was a man asking her questions about the car. So how did she get her number, and why was this guy asking this person about the car? I don't know. But Wilson then spoke to the owner on the phone, and he told her his name was Wayne Hennon, and he worked for a glass repair shop. So I guess the glass repair shop just come and got her car.
I guess so.
After Wilson parked the car, it would not start again. So he called to ask if she would contact someone who could start it up for him. So basically, hey, can you start this car up for me remotely so we can fix the glass? During the phone call, Isle police responded to a suspicious person complaint and found that it was Wilson in the stolen car. After being arrested, Wilson admitted to stealing the vehicle and that he knew it wasn't a good idea to get in the vehicle. So maybe you should have listened to that still small voice telling you not to steal the car.
I just, on advice, I'm not even a lawyer, but as someone who's watched a few Law and Orders, you shouldn't admit guilt right away. I'm just going to say that. And
you have the right to remain silent.
Yes.
And you should do that probably.
And as my parents will tell you, my motto for life is deny everything. When caught, deny until there's no way out, and then admit it. And he's immediately just like, yeah, it's probably a bad idea for me to do this.
Yeah, I shouldn't have stole that car.
But I did,
but I shouldn't have done it.
And maybe things are different at northern Walmarts than southern Walmarts, but I would never, even if I had the capability to remote start my car in a Walmart parking lot.
Right.
That's asking for it to get stolen to me. I don't know what the deal is. But secondly, if you do jump in a remotely started car and drive off, when it stops working, I guess there's probably some kind of time limit it'll run without having the key in it. That's how I imagined it in my mind when I was looking at the article.
I'm not wealthy enough to afford those
me
fancy
either.
cars.
I am not fancy enough for that. And it stops working, you just get out and leave it. Don't call anybody. Maybe he was he had to be drinking or something. I don't know.
Maybe set it on fire.
Right. Well, I got another criminal story, and this one comes from lovely Moundville, Alabama.
Which is just a short, 30-minute drive
from
away from us?
Yeah, we're sitting here right here. It's probably about 30 miles, or maybe 35 miles from us. But Moundville, one of my favorite places in Alabama. I love Moundville. Mm-hmm. It was the Big Apple of the Mississippian era, if you didn't know.
Right.
Large, if you're not familiar with Moundville, large Indian mounds there built by Mississippian era Indians. It was like huge. It's a huge site.
You can look at it on Google Earth.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And very impressive that they did that.
With baskets of dirt.
Yeah, baskets of dirt, and they
not
had
with bulldozers.
You know how big it is there. I mean,
it's like, huge.
Ain't no telling me how many acres it is, but they had a wall around the whole thing too.
Yeah, that's crazy. crazy.
Which is crazy too. So Moundville, awesome. So Moundville man faces charges in Captain Crunch assault. A Moundville man is accused of assaulting his roommate during a fight over stale Captain Crunch, saying the cereal was too difficult to eat without teeth. So
well, he has a point.
Yes. The man was charged, this is according to the Moundville Times, was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence / assault, and he's accused of attacking the victim with a laptop cord on Friday.
Oh, man.
But I bet you
he went hitman on that.
He's like, I'm going to strap the back of them legs.
Over Captain Crunch.
Well, I mean... did
he think it was his roommate's fault that it was too hard to eat without teeth?
So, according to the suspect, who was 52, he became angry because his roommate, quote, tore the bag when he opened it and did not do anything to keep the cereal fresh. The suspect asked him, this is a quote, asked him if he knew how hard it was to eat stale cereal without any teeth, and allegedly demanded the victim remove his dentures to try some. The victim told police the suspect assaulted him with a laptop charger cord. He refused.
Yeah.
But here's another bizarre thing. This is the second time in recent weeks that a Moundville resident has been accused of domestic violence after a fight involving food.
Okay.
In December, a man was charged with third-degree domestic violence during a fight over a slice of cheesecake he had cut for his half-brother. The brother said the piece was too small for a grown blank man, according to police reports, and the fight turned violent. So people in Moundville are a little touchy over their food.
Well, I'll say this. There have been times in my life when I was handed the server and instructed to cut the cake or the pie or whatever. And, fortunately, my brother's a good sport, and he always got a bigger piece. But sometimes just to pick at him, I would cut like a ridiculously small piece, just messing with him, and he would, ha, 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 ha. And then he gets another piece. But this dude took it serious.
Yeah. So, don't mess. And also, I have 3 kids, and we have cereal at our house all the time. And I'm not a big cereal eater anymore. Mm-hmm. I was at one time in my life, but I hate it. We actually get the cereal, pour it into like a Tupperware container, and it's got a snap lid on it and all that because it's just easier for everybody to deal with.
That's smart because what we always do is just cram the open end back down into the box.
Also, it's 2018, and we're launching rockets and returning them to Earth, and we haven't figured out to make a cereal bag Ziploc on the top. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
Malto Meal.
Oh, yeah.
Malto Meal's got them. Get the Malto Meal, yes.
Well, you get like the cheap, whatever, Lucky Charms and like the huge like family bag.
Yeah.
And they are. But you go get Lucky Charms, which...
They've spent all that money on Lucky the Leprechaun.
Yeah, the Leprechaun's taking all their cash. But it's frustrating to get stale cereal, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know that I beat my kids with a laptop charger cord, but I might, take a belt to them or something.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. I hadn't whipped my kids with a belt. I use my hand. My hand does the job. I can spank a butt with this hand, I'm not an intimidating guy, but I'll pop you on the butt with it, and it'll sting real bad. My wife will tell you, I'll pop you right on the tail with it. And it'll sting. So,
Stings so good.
Oh yeah. Good sting in certain circumstances.
I'm gonna save us here.
Let's move along.
Dallas sledgehammer spree ends with 12 police cars damaged and a man in jail.
He needs a spanking.
Yeah, he does. At least 12 police cars were damaged Sunday morning. A Dallas man set to turn 59 on Wednesday is in custody for allegedly smashing a dozen police squad cars with a sledgehammer over the weekend.
Wow.
This dude straight up went Hulk for some reason.
Look at it. It's all busted up.
Yeah, the spree was eventually stopped by an unarmed officer, and Dallas cops ended up giving the suspect, Gregory Simpson, an early birthday present, an arrest and time in jail. He is very lucky that guy didn't turn the sledgehammer and assault him, Michael Mata, president of the Dallas Police Association, told WFAA. The marshals would have had to come out, and it could have turned into a deadly force confrontation. So, fortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could dodge a sledgehammer. I'll just say that. I don't know about
You
deadly
better
force.
dodge.
Yeah. I mean,
not let him connect.
my agility is not too great, but I feel like I could. If you're swinging an 8-pound sledge, I can get out of the way if I know it's coming.
That's it's Thor.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know that I have to shoot you over it. I can dodge a little bit.
Dallas police say Gregory Simpson broke into the parking lot at the Dallas City Marshal's Office Detention Center just after 5 a.m. Sunday morning before turning into a one-man wrecking crew. Hulk smash! It was not immediately clear why police believe Simpson started swinging the sledgehammer, but he was charged with criminal mischief and is being held at North Tower Detention Facility on a $50,000 bond. And look at that mug. I mean, he's happy about it.
He is. His eyes are not lined up right, by the way.
Yeah.
You know.
The incident has sparked calls from the union for tighter security at the Dallas police facilities and fixes, including the installation of bulletproof glass and better fencing, according to Fox 4. We're seeing this time and time again. An individual who either has the onset or the mindset to either injure officers or injure property shows up and we roll the dice, Mattis said. And we are lucky that he didn't try to kill an officer or that an officer didn't have to kill him. Police and their facilities in Dallas have been targeted in recent years, most notably in 2016 when a sniper killed 5 officers at an anti-police brutality march, which I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
That's
why they sent the robot in and like killed the dude, right?
They got the dude.
Yeah.
They got him bad. Shame it came to that.
No, it really is. First of all, you shouldn't go around shooting people anyways. I mean, police officers or otherwise. But if you're going to shoot police officers, you should have a robot blow you up. I'm just saying. You shoot anybody, really. I'm anti-shooting people.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. The city's South Central Patrol Station was also fired at in a drive-by shooting in 2017, and Dallas Police Headquarters was shot at.
What's going on in Dallas?
They do not like their cops.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there are steps to go through when you have a grievance against the city or against the police department, and those should be exhausted first. But I don't know. I don't know if there's something that's sparking all this outrage or not. But there needs to be some kind of kumbaya session go on between the people and the police.
I'm a police supporter. I got family members that have been in law enforcement for forever. I love them, and I know they got a super difficult job.
Yeah, they do, because they're dealing most of the time with like the dregs of society.
There's a reason I'm not a cop, and it's because I would shoot everybody. You know, I mean, you just talk back to me, I'd shoot you. But, so I don't have the temperament for it. I will say that this dude, to me, when I read that, was like. This is somebody who's had his property seized, and he's mad about it, so he's going to get some money out of them. You know, like I'm going to
take you down with me kind of thing.
You pulled me over, and I had $10,000 in cash in the trunk, and you took it, and I wasn't doing anything wrong. Now I can't get it back because they were saying it's drug money or whatever. Now, so I'm just going to go bust some windshields out. You know, civil asset forfeiture to me is like. I realize why the police do it and everything, but to me, it's like one of the most unconstitutional things in the world. Not trying to get too deep on our funny podcast, but if something like that were to happen to me, if I was accused of a crime, they come and seize my property, even if I haven't done it or whatever, I would probably be like, well, I'm gonna have to take a sledgehammer to your car.
Yeah, but see, now you're worse.
Yeah, I know.
Now, not only do you not have that property that they took from you unconstitutionally, now you're in jail too.
Now you're thinking logically, and that makes perfect sense. But, I mean, I'm just not going to let somebody take all my stuff. I just can't do it without fighting back.
What you do is you put on the hoodie and you leave the flaming bag of poo.
Right.
Something you're not going to get caught for.
Yeah. Leave it at misdemeanor level, you know? Yeah, exactly. All right. So, where are you? All right, let me ask. Do you love McDonald's French fries?
My son, he loves Happy Meals.
Of course.
I'm not the biggest fan of McDonald's.
Yeah?
And I will say that, I like most all French fries. I'm a lover of all French fries, but they're not my favorite. I like the big, thick wedges.
What?
Sorry.
To me, all right, and I'm going to prove...
But I do like them. In fact, I had some for lunch today.
I'm going to prove my point here in just a second with this article. But
okay.
McDonald's fries are top of the line. There will never be another fry to meet the level that McDonald's fries has reached. For me, I love them.
Right.
I mean, Wendy's fries are okay. I put them like at 2, maybe one B. Burger King fries, no. Arby's fries are bottom of the line.
Oh man,
I do not like Arby's fries at all. I could do without Arby's fries for the rest of my life. I don't like the curly fries.
Okay.
They don't taste good. It doesn't. You can drown them in Arby's sauce. Still, I don't like Arby's.
Well, see,
fries.
there's where you're messing up. You put them in horsey sauce.
Oh well, maybe I'll try that. I hadn't done that. But a chemical in McDonald's fries could cure baldness, study says.
Seriously?
That's right, yes. And so that's another, I mean, I don't see anybody else's fries curing baldness. Japanese scientists may have discovered a cure for baldness, and it lies with the chemical used to make McDonald's fries.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. This comes from Newsweek.com. A stem cell research team from Yokohama National University used a simple method to regrow hair on mice by using, let's see if I can get this right.
Okay.
Dimethylpolysioxane.
Excellent.
The silicone added to McDonald's fries to stop cooking oil from frothing. All right, so if you dump frozen fries in something,
it tends to
the oil
crackle and pop and burn your arm.
And if you're dumping, making thousands of pounds of fries every day, that's a problem you can't have. It's making more mess than you need or whatever.
Right.
So preliminary tests indicated that the groundbreaking method was likely to be just as successful when transferred to human skin cells. According to the study, which was released in some health journal or scientific journal,
of course,
scientists successfully mass-produced hair follicle germs, which were created for the first time ever in this way. And the key for the mass production was the choice of the substance materials for the culture vessel. So I don't know if they rub some fries in the bottom of it. Like maybe the guy eating was a fatty and he was on lunch break, and next thing you know, it says we use oxygen permeable dimethylpolysilicoxane (PDMS) as at the bottom of the culture vessel, and it worked very well. And as you can see, if you go to the show notes and you look at there's the generated hair on the mouse.
Yeah,
so,
that's there.
Yeah,
you see the back of a bald mouse.
That's right.
And then you see what looks like some hair plugs,
It's
but it's
exactly
not.
what
It's
like.
French fry stuff.
He's part of mice hair club for mice. The simple method is very robust and promising. Fukuda said, who is one of the scientists, so we hope this technique will improve human hair regenerative therapy to treat hair loss such as andronic alope. Okay, it's male pattern baldness.
Easy for you to say.
Yes. And here was, to me, if we can get in on this on the ground floor, in 2016, the U.S. hair loss treatment manufacturing industry was worth $6 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, and McDonald's didn't respond to a request for comment at the time of this publication. Which I would have been on this and been like, why do you think Ronald McDonald has such a luscious head?
Fro.
Exactly. I don't know
all
why
the
they
McDonald's fries.
McDonald's fries are the best to me. Just shout out to Rick Hanna, my friend who owns several McDonald's around West Alabama. Graduated high school with him. Awesome dude. I love it. Love your fries. If you want to sponsor the podcast, that'd be great. Just hit me up, man. You know how to get in touch with me, Rick.
That is awesome, man.
Yes.
And my wife, she's been complaining about some of the lactation stuff that she's taking,
Sure.
messing up with her hair.
Yeah.
We just need to rub a bunch of McDonald's fries on her head.
That's
fix
exactly.
it right
Hey,
up.
babe, I got a whole bag of fries here.
So next time she's complaining about it, be like, I got the cure here.
Show her that picture of that rat. Yeah.
Do you want to look like this? All right, next story. Do you remember the Fatberg?
Vaguely. I didn't when I read the headline, but I do. Once I read the article, I do remember it.
This was a story from a few years ago of a huge, disgusting mass that was found in a London sewer system.
Yeah.
That they had to crane out, and it was a hilarious story at the time.
Right.
There was no Earth oddity at that time.
No.
But we get to talk about it now because apparently there's going to be part of it has been preserved and is being put on display in a London museum.
Yes, exactly.
London's newest museum attraction is greasy, smelly, and a glimpse at the hidden underside of urban life. The Museum of London's latest display is a chunk of the 130,000 kilogram Fatberg that was blasted out of the city sewer last year. It took sewage workers with jet hoses 9 weeks to dislodge the 250-meter long mass of oil, fat, diapers, and baby wipes from beneath Whitechapel in the city's East End, which that was old Jack the Ripper's old hunting grounds.
Yeah, right. Who's flushing diapers, by the way?
Not me.
Yeah,
I would love to, but I wouldn't dare try.
No, I mean, everybody should know, don't flush your diapers.
The museum has lovingly preserved a chunk the size of a shoebox, whose consistency a curator likens to Parmesan crossed with moon rock. So that's quite the combination.
Yes.
Close examination reveals the presence of tiny flies. 3 nested transparent boxes protect visitors from potentially deadly bacteria and from the Fatberg's nauseous smell.
Yeah, I would think it's got a little stink to it.
Curator Vicky Sparkles, which I just want to say is a lovely name for someone who's the curator of the Fatberg exhibit.
We were discussing, like, if Fatberg was a wrestler, you know, Vicky Sparkles would be his ring girl, you know?
Yes.
She would, escort him down.
Yeah. Like, probably hold a big giant fur coat when he got in the ring for him.
Yeah. Like, hook his opponent's leg when he's over by the rope. Yeah.
Yes. She says that the lump started out smelling like a used diaper, which I'm smelling those at the moment in my life, that you may have forgotten about and found a few weeks later. The Fatberg has now mellowed to a damp Victorian basement.
Oh, boy.
So it's gone from used dirty diaper, weeks old, to damp Victorian basement. It's disgusting and fascinating, she said, of the Fatberg. And that's what's been great to work with it, is that it just has this impact on people, which is shocking to me. You know, that is this interesting. The museum is so confident of the item's ick appeal that the exhibition, titled Fatberg! Comes with a selection of merchandise, including T-shirts and Fatberg fudge, which I just want to put a shout out to our one UK listener.
That's right.
I really need a Fatberg T-shirt.
Yeah,
I will pay for it and pay shipping and handling. Yeah, if you can just give me that.
I wouldn't mind some Fatberg fudge. You know?
Yeah, sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'd take that. Sure.
Sparkles considers the Fatberg a natural for the museum, which charts the city's ancient and modern history. The word itself, a hybrid of fat and iceberg, which I got that.
Yeah.
Is one of London's gifts to the world and was coined by the city's sewer workers and entered the Oxford English Dictionary in 2015.
Okay.
Fatbergs are a growing menace for cities around the world, but remain mysterious. Fatbergs aren't really that well understood, how they form, how quickly they form, and what they are, said Sparkles. She said museum curators struggle to figure out how to preserve the volatile sample of the mass of detritus mixed with cooking fat, palm oil, and oils found in products like hair conditioner and body lotion. They debated pickling it, but decided no, that it would probably dissolve and turn into toxic sludge. Which, that's how you get the Ninja Turtles, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Freezing was also rejected, and in the end, the sample was air dried. The first chunk to undergo the process was unsuccessful and deteriorated, but the second attempt succeeded. The exhibition is a sobering look at the effects of daily waste, but it does contain some good news. Most of the Whitechapel Fatberg was delivered to Argent Energy, a company that turns waste into biofuel, which I think that is awesome.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Some of the sludge that once choked the sewer system is now fueling London's double-decker buses. There is an upside, said Argent spokesman Dixon Posnett, but it would be nicer for us if we could collect the fat before it even goes into the sewers. It would be nicer for the people of London and for us as well.
Okay.
So,
well, so when I owned the restaurant, we were a sandwich shop. Mm-hmm. We didn't do any like cooking, no grease really or anything, but I was required by the city to buy a grease trap because of things like this.
Because of Fatberg.
Because of Fatberg, right. So I had to spend $785 on a grease trap. I didn't need to put it in there. And then the city pays a guy who will just come into your restaurant, open it up, and make sure it's cleaned out.
Right.
But I never cleaned it out once because we didn't use any grease. So thank you, Fatberg. You cost me $785. But I agree. You just can't. I mean, people pour everything down the drain or whatever, and it eventually is going to pile up, you know.
Huge shout out to an old roommate of mine, Daniel Cable. I worked in a fish fry place called Skipjack's, many years ago. And when we would filter out the oils in the fryers, they would all come out in this pan, and you would get like this layer of what was left of the batter, like fish crumbs and stuff, you know, all those little crispies that you eat at Captain D's.
Yes.
And then on top of that, there would be like a layer of grease that had solidified. And it was like thick, waxy type substance. You know, I'm sure you've seen it. It's Crisco, basically.
Know all about it.
And it kind of looked like a piece of lemon pie. And I remember our old roommate, he was over at the store one day, and we cut a piece of it and like told him it was on the house and like give it to him, and he bit into it. It was hilarious.
I would have loved it. Yeah. So people would just, you know, in times past would pour stuff like that straight in the drain, go into your sewer system. Then you get a Fatberg going on, and
then we get to talk about it on the show.
Right. And as a person, I love art. I'm not an artist in any way, but I love art. And art, you know, is to elicit a reaction. You know, that's one of the main purposes of art, whether positive or negative. So people, you know, get all mad because somebody does some art they don't like. And
that's like, what the artist wants.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're just eliciting that reaction out of it, which should show you, like, okay, that's got that reaction out of me. You know, am actually into art, you know, more than I would let on. But But I don't know that I would go to the Fatberg exhibit outside of getting some fudge. Well, I'm a sucker for fudge, by the way. Love it.
In case you do want to go see Fatberg, ! It is on display from now until July 1st, and admission is free. It's not going to cost you a thing to go see Fatberg.
Okay.
So, hey, maybe UK listeners, maybe y'all want to take some selfies and put them up in our Instagram. Yeah. Let us know about it. That'd be great.
Now, got another story out of Britain. This comes from the Telegraph, the UK Telegraph. And I feel like it's connected to Fatberg in a way. Gangster accused of swallowing drugs goes 3 weeks without a bowel movement as police tweet #PooWatch. So shout out to Eric Goss who brought this story to our attention. I just feel like if #PooWatch is going to turn into another Fatberg for this dude. A gangster has gone 3 weeks without a bowel movement.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. In an attempt to stop police finding drugs he swallowed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. The man arrested in Harlow, Essex on January 17th is charged with 2 counts of possessing Class A drugs with intent to supply. Well, nobody's going to be getting them now.
Or they might.
Yes. He's accused of swallowing a drug stash and is being kept in custody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Officers have been tweeting updates of what they have described as Poo Watch. And here's one of them. This is a tweet. London gang nominal arrested for failing to stop for police in possession with intent to supply Class A drugs. Mel doesn't think we have the power to keep him until he removes said items from his bottom. And it's got a poop emoji.
Classy.
Yeah, really classy. On Wednesday was day 21, and it says, for our man on #PooWatch, still no movement / items to report. He will remain with us until Friday when we are back to court. Where we will be requesting a further 8 days should he not produce anything before the hearing.
Man.
Yeah. Then later, another tweet was, Mel doesn't seem to understand that he will eventually need to have to go. Another Poo Watch tweet is day 20 is coming to an end and still no movement. Sorry for the delay in updates. The teams are busy covering this and other ongoing investigations. Now, to me, I don't know what he swallowed, but I feel like it would be absorbed into his body by now.
3 weeks is like, you know, that's a big deal. Like, I'm wondering, he might win. He might win this.
What are they expecting to get out of him is what I'm, you know, like. I mean, maybe if it was in a baggie or something, like you swallow some, whatever baggies of Coke or something, then they're going to be like plastic bags left in there that I guess someone would have to test. Which, if you're the dude down in the lab, and when he finally goes, they're like, "Hey, buddy, you got to search this over." That's a horrible job. But let me just read this. This is from the Chief Superintendents of the Essex Police, just for our children listeners and adults as well. This is his quote. "Drug dealing and gang lifestyle is not glamorous. You'll be exploited by the victim or perpetrator of violence. You'll spend your days wondering whether a rival dealer or police officer will find you first. You'll be expected to courier and deliver drugs, and that might involve you swallowing or carrying them inside you, which is particularly dangerous. If you are arrested and suspected of having drugs inside you, we can and will keep you in custody until you produce them. It's important that the Essex Police continues to highlight the reality around drug and gang-related crime." So let that be a lesson to all you youngsters out there that if you're in England, to our one guy over in England, you, buddy, don't be trafficking drugs and have to swallow them, because they're going to keep you in there until you poop them out.
And also, I looked this up on Twitter just now. It's still going. Poo Watch, hashtag Poo Watch enters 24th day as drug suspect refuses to use the toilet. So, well, I got to be honest, I'm kind of fascinated now. I'm going to follow this.
I've already thought about it. All right. Here's what you do. You got to have the guy at the cafeteria put some laxative in his food. I mean, that's really all you got to do. Give him prune juice. That's your only thing you're allowed to drink.
It didn't say anything on him, or it didn't say anything about him being on hunger strike.
Right.
So maybe.
So here's your chocolate cake with some X-Lax in it, and let's bring this case to a close, so to speak.
Yes.
Which, and without revealing too much information about myself,
right?
How are they going to keep him from going to the bathroom and flushing it? And, he's got to be like under constant supervision, I would imagine. And usually there's just like a toilet in there, and you just go and flush it real quick. That's what if I was this dude, when I had to go, you wait till the guard turns his back, you swoop and poop, flush it on down, and maybe that's what he already did.
Well, I think don't they have him in a cell that doesn't have one though? I think they got him in like a room somewhere where maybe he has a bucket. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what if he's got to take a leak?
I don't know.
Just pee on the floor.
I guess
it don't matter if you're like holding your dookie in or whatever. But
again, police officers. Shout out to police officers. They have a bad job.
The guy down in forensics is who I feel sorry for. I mean, you're going to have to go picking through that.
Okay, well, man, we really need to move on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip a couple that I had for maybe some other time, and I'm gonna go straight into this one. Van where body was found was set to be auctioned by police.
Yes.
So, and this happened in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
So not too far away.
Yeah. Memphis, buddy.
Memphis police had already started the process to auction off a van in its impound lot when its owner returned weeks later and found a body inside, sources say.
Did they list it like has a slight smell?
I don't know. That'd be interesting to know. But a letter was sent to Pablo Castor, the owner, that his van was going to be auctioned off if he didn't come and pick it up.
That's civil asset forfeiture right there. That's what they're doing. They took his stuff.
They took his van and his body.
He deserved it. Okay.
Says so he rushed over there to get it out of the impound lot, and then when he inspected the van, okay, not the police officers, this is Mr. Pablo Castor inspecting his own van because they probably roughed it up, or he was thinking maybe they did. There was a body in there. A source also confirmed that pictures were taken of the van, but no one ever saw the body. Police said Wednesday that the person who was located inside the van has not yet been identified, but he doesn't match the description of any missing persons reports that they have. The surviving victim did not know the dead man's name, police said. At least 3 levels of inspection. 3, John.
Wow.
3 levels of inspection failed to turn up a dead body of a homicide victim that sat at the police impound lot after 3 men were shot during a robbery on December 18th.
Wow.
So since December, this dude has just been in the impound lot in a van.
Just chilling.
Yeah, I guess so.
The temperature's been kind of cold in Tennessee, so
that's
maybe
true. That's true. Mayor Jim Strickland said Wednesday he had called for an immediate investigation. This is absolutely not acceptable. I would agree.
Yeah.
It was a clear violation of policy. I await the investigation and look forward to the director holding whatever parties are responsible accountable. Well, I would just like to say I'm glad that I'm not on the hot seat.
If you're the inspector, if you're one of those inspectors, you're like, ooh, honey, maybe making a job change soon.
Anytime the police department takes custody of a vehicle, they need to review that vehicle and do an inventory of what's inside.
Okay.
Like before they even have it towed, they're supposed to check it out and take an inventory of what's in there.
There's like got to be some steps you do.
Says, well, that obviously wasn't done. And there was not a complete inventory of the vehicle, otherwise the body would have been found. The vehicle had supposedly been inspected by the crime scene unit, uniformed patrol and workers at the impound lot. So typically on a crime scene, before Metro Police tow a vehicle, they need to do inventory and they search the vehicle, and then they fill out a towing slip with that information on it and give that to the tow truck driver. The tow truck driver hands off the slip at the impound lot, and someone there needs to check its accuracy by researching the vehicle to make sure make sure the driver didn't swipe anything.
Right.
They then check the vehicle into the impound lot. However, in a case where a critical injury is involved, like this one, protocol is different, according to multiple MPD sources. The MPD will secure the vehicle, and then they'll have it towed to what's called the tunnel at the impound lot, which tunnel. This is the inside of a warehouse where they process the vehicle for fingerprints and they search it thoroughly in a controlled environment. Basically, all that stuff you see on CSI. Yeah. The tow truck driver would have the towing slip that says the vehicle needs to be processed still. Typically, the processing of the vehicle will happen within 24 to 48 hours by a detective and crime scene officer. They'll obtain a search warrant depending on the circumstances, and then after they search it, the vehicle will be moved to the impound lot. So obviously, none of this, none of that happened,
Bad news, they're pinning that on the tow truck driver, I guarantee you, They'll be like, oh, he didn't bring the slip, it's on him. And they're not going to take the fall for it. They've all gotten together, and they're like, who can we put this on? And they're like, tow truck driver. That's why it's mentioned in there like 3 times. They had it in the article, setting it up.
I would like to think that the tow truck driver is like this Sherlock Holmes looking dude who's like, by Jove, there's a body in this automobile.
I mean, what a monumental, like when they discovered that body, somebody was like, oh, I got to call the boss with this one.
I know this has happened. I mean, not to this scale, but you know how sometimes you mess up and you can blame it on other people, but then sometimes you mess up and there's nothing that you can say. Right. I mean, it's so bad. All you do is just hang your head.
Right. And, like, hey, that's on me, guys. I'm sorry. My bad. I know I was supposed to check the back of the van, but it's almost quitting time. I was ready to go home. Had a long day. I thought I would do it tomorrow, the day after, and then things came up, and I just forgot. Drop the ball. Sorry, everybody. That's the only thing you can say in that situation.
Yeah, that's a bad situation.
Yeah,
I'm so glad it's not me.
Me too, man. That's something I would do.
Because there's been stuff before where, hey, you need to do this. Yeah. I'm like, I'll get to it.
Oh, I know.
And then,
look, I drive my wife up the wall with that. No joke. She's going to listen to this, and she'll be nodding her head.
She'll be like, hey. If John Long worked for the crime scene investigation unit, he would be the one who said, we processed this van.
Yeah, we got it done. No, it's good to go.
But then there's like a dead body in there.
Oh, man. You just know when they opened up the back door or whatever, and Pablo was like, hey.
I didn't leave that there.
Yeah, that's not mine. Then they're like, oh, my goodness.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Maybe this, I don't know. Maybe I would hate to know they it's just from December. I'll say already went to trial or whatever with whatever the case was. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, he didn't kill anybody. And now there's a body because, I think
that's bad.
It's real bad. I feel bad for that dude because I put myself in their shoes and I know I would do something like that. Oh, yeah, no, it's done. It's done. You just keep telling yourself, I'm going to do it later. I get it this afternoon after lunch or whatever. And you never do.
Oh, man.
Oh, well. Sorry for that dude. Which, out of all the problems in Memphis, that's probably a minor one. Memphis has got some serious problems.
Well, do you got anything else, or you want
The only other one I was going to do was this student who had to flush her emotional support hamster down the toilet.
Very quickly, this is a listener submission. So,
Yeah,
Mr.
right.
Daniel Cable, you get a shout out.
Oh, yeah, it's the second shout out in the show.
Yeah,
a two shout out show for Mr. Cable. Okay.
He's also the same dude that ate the grease pie I was talking about earlier.
Okay. So, in yet another incident involving an attempted transport of an emotional support animal on a commercial flight, a 21-year-old college student flushed Pebbles, her dwarf hamster, down an airport toilet after Spirit Airlines refused to allow her to bring the animal on board. So, the student named Belan Adalaska, I don't know. Anyways, she called Spirit a couple of times. They said, "Yeah, it's cool. You can bring your emotional support hamster on."
What is an emotional support hamster?
I don't know. Now, first of all, I'm all for if you got problems and you need a support animal like a dog or whatever to help you. I'm all for that because I got friends who are like diabetic and the dog can tell if their blood sugar's getting low, and of course you see blind people and all that. But I think a lot of this, or it's becoming a problem of people saying this is my emotional support animal and I need it, and they just got a pet hamster they want to bring.
Well, I remember like a couple months back I saw a story about an emotional support peacock.
Right, yes.
And I was like, of course they didn't let it on the plane. What do you think this is, Noah Airlines or something? You know?
Peacocks are annoying anyways. I know they're beautiful, but they are annoying and they poop all over everything. These people do not have a lot of peacock experience.
But this is a hamster.
Yeah, it's a hamster, which I would figure you just put in your purse or whatever and rock on. Don't even ask anybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when she got to the airport, they were like, "You can't bring it on. Sorry." And she says, a worker told her that she should either let it go outside or flush it down the toilet.
There is no good option here.
No. What I would do,
option bad or option worse.
I thought about what I would do. Go put it in the mail, overnight it, in a box to one of your friends back home. Call them. Hey, I'm sending you little. What was the hamster's name? Did it have it in here? Pebbles. I'm sending you Pebbles, and it's going to show up. Poke a couple holes in the box, just mail it,
and tell Pebbles good luck.
Yeah, hey, good luck. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, I can blame it on somebody else.
And we've already got a little coffin to bury you in.
Yeah. So here's a quote from the girl. It says, "She was scared. I was scared. It was horrifying trying to put her in the toilet. Oh, no. I was emotional. I was crying. I sat there for a good 10 minutes crying in the stall."
Oh no.
And I don't know that I would flush it. This is how you get a Fatberg. Anyways, another way you get a Fatberg.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was in her position, which horrible. Let me just say, even if it was her emotional support animal or just her pet, and she's trying to play it off like she really needed it, horrible. You had to put your pet down, but just snap its neck. All right.
Yeah.
Get it over quick. Don't flush it down the toilet.
Well, in the movie version of Ninja Turtles, not the comic, but in the movie version, that's how you get Master Splinter.
That's right.
So maybe Pebbles will become like a ninjutsu master in the future. I hope that happens.
Yes.
And then come back for bloody revenge.
Delta reports that it flew 250,000 service and support animals last year.
Huh.
That's up 150% since 2015.
But they're not going to take a hamster.
They're not Spirit won't take a hamster. Yeah. But they put restrictions on it. Like several airlines prohibit certain pets from boarding planes, such as rodents, hedgehogs, and animals with tusk.
Animals with tusk. No animals with tusk on this flight.
Right. Which I think the only animal you could take with a tusk on a flight would be like a pig.
Right.
So, and pigs, they can make an all right pet.
Well, what about a walrus?
Yeah, no walrus.
No emotional support walruses?
No emotional support elephants. And if your boar has tusk, you need to go on and trim those up anyway. That's going to cause some trouble.
Yeah. Oh, well, as always, man, we had some good ones that we didn't get to.
I apologize for coughing all the way during the show. I can't help it. I got a tickle in my throat. I don't know what it is.
But we're going to try to get into some community news here, and this is a new stinger I come up with. What do y'all think of this? Community news.
I love it.
We didn't have any Bigfoot emails this week. I was really bummed out about that.
Yeah.
But I actually haven't discussed this with you. But again, anybody who's seen Bigfoot or knows somebody who has seen a Bigfoot, please email them in. I would kind of like to store up some, and then maybe at some point in the future have a special Bigfoot episode.
I love it.
So please, go, because I'll say this. I have talked to a lot of people who believe in Bigfoot, but I have never personally spoken to anyone who has seen him.
Me either.
And maybe that kind of feeds my skepticism somewhat.
Right.
So please, if you have seen a Bigfoot, have you seen this man? If you have seen Bigfoot, write in earthoddity@planetmail.net.
Now, I did watch a documentary called Harry and the Hendersons once.
Yes, I've seen that. That's classic.
I feel like that's enough validation for all of us. So.
We are going to quickly buzz through some iTunes reviews that we picked up last week. Drew Flew, hilarious, 5 stars. These guys take the weirdest news stories and have great takes on them, laughing out loud a lot.
Yeah.
New Watermelon Road, the 5 stars. The best thing about Mondays.
I like that username.
Yeah. The only thing that could make this better would be twice a week episodes. Total awesomeness. So maybe we'll get to that at some point. I've got to get the wife on board. She is,
Yeah, I don't know.
She don't like giving me up for a whole hour a week. So Lost in Bama. The red pill. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And Tiny and John of Earth Oddity show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
That's a solid one.
As for me, I'll take the red pill. Thank you so much, Lost in Bama, for taking the red pill right along with us.
That's right. I've been taking pills a long time.
DJ Squirrel 481 says, a trip into the unusual.
Yes.
5 stars. After hours of searching for a podcast that was clever, clean, and funny, here it is. Witty banter with an attempt at class. Thank you so much, DJ Squirrel. This podcast is the modern-day equivalent of the 1899 Wild West newspaper. In parentheses, that was a compliment. We will take it as such.
Yes.
If you don't believe my review, listen to the podcast and prove me wrong.
Boom. Thanks, Squirrel.
Thank you so much, DJ Squirrel 481.
Wing a loud sick with him away. He'll know what that means because I know who that is.
Okay, good. And then Grateful, 1974, all is well, 5 stars. So I enjoyed the podcast, listened to it on my way back from Hartselle, Alabama, Monday morning. I had biscuits for breakfast, and I was eating them. As I was eating them, I thought about my son. He is 16 today and still has issues eating with his hands. As a toddler, he would hold his fork in the air and use his other hand to grab his food. Today, he still refuses to eat waffles or pancakes with syrup, and I think it's because he doesn't like his hands sticky, which then made me realize he will never have the pleasure of eating biscuits with Golden Eagle syrup.
Oh, man.
A sad thought indeed. But then I started thinking about my boots. They are comfortable. I do not like footwear that has laces. I enjoyed the podcast. So thank you.
I love it. That is a great one.
Thank you, Grateful 1974. And here's hoping your 16-year-old son will one day eat some biscuits.
At least, if he tries Golden Eagle syrup, if you can get him to try it once, I'd put it in a syringe and slowly push it in his mouth, and then he'd realize it was good.
And now, for the winner of our movie trailer reviews this week comes from Figgy McFigface, 5 stars. In a world where the French attack each other over cheap Nutella, John and Tiny battle the forces of boredom and psychos who put pineapple on pizza. By being odd, they take on high Canadian police officers and lost bachelorette contestants. So,
perfect.
Figgy McFigface, you are the winner.
Oh, yes.
Just email into the show.
Right. I got the tape.
There it is.
Right here. That's it. Rattling in the case from March 1st, 1969. The Grateful Dead to Fillmore West, San Francisco, California. Tape works. I put a video of it in my tape deck in my car because I still have a tape deck in my car.
We need an email from you with your address, where you want us to send the loot to, and also where you want your $10 gift card to.
Yeah.
And then we will email you back a secret password. You go put that in your review. which I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
I'm pretty sure too.
But you get your prize. We'll get it to you out as soon as possible.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm feeling generous. I'm going to go ahead and Lost in Bama with the Red Pill review. You get a $10. You don't get the cassette, but you get a $10 gift card too. Write us in with an address and where you want your $10.
If you really want the cassette, I will make a copy of it because I still have a two-deck tape deck that I can dub it on.
All right.
I'm sure I can find a blank tape somewhere.
But get your email in before Figgy McFigface does.
Let's go. Yes.
So we don't send it out and you don't get yours.
I'm not giving away all my tapes. All right. But yeah, so Earth Oddity at planetmail.net.
And we look forward to getting your prizes out to you.
That's right.
Also, maybe you're sitting on the couch and you're like, man, I should have entered that because there was only a few reviews. I might could have won something.
Right.
You're basically the equivalent of somebody sitting on the couch looking out the window and there's like a $10 bill laying on the sidewalk and you're too lazy to get up there and walk out there and get it.
Exactly. You just let money slip through your hands. Right.
But you know what? I'm giving you another chance. Boom. This week is Valentine's Day. So the theme is poetry. You go to iTunes, you leave a 5-star review with a poem. It can be something like Roses Are Red, Some Socks Are Black, John and Tiny Are the Daddy Mac. Okay. As long as it's 5 stars, you will be entered in a contest, again, for a $10 gift card next week. And I might try to dig up a DVD or something. Okay. We'll see.
I mean,
maybe something romance related.
Yeah. I've probably got a few Widespread Panic tapes I can throw out there as well.
And a box of chocolates. A cheap, disgusting box of Valentine's chocolates.
It'll probably be melted by the time it makes it to you anyways if we have to mail it.
But it's free.
Yeah, right.
So
stick it in the freezer. It'll eat just fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did that with some Reese's cups. They melted in my car, just stuck in the freezer. Had one big Reese's ball, Fatberg Reese's cup.
Everybody out there, go give us a 5-star poetic Valentine's Day review on iTunes.
Right.
Or if you have Bigfoot sighting you want to email on the show, earthoddity at planetmail.net.
Right. If you have any Grateful Dead tapes you just want to get off your hands, I will take them from you too. By the way, email us. We'll work out a deal. I'll pay for postage.
Well, I feel like this has been a good episode.
Yeah.
This has been a great episode.
Yeah. Right. That's a 5-star episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
5-star and a poem.
So what are you waiting on? Go do it right now.
That's right.
You can also check us out on Instagram. We are Earth_Oddity_podcast.
There we go.
You can follow us on Twitter.
Really, nobody's following us on Twitter yet. I mean, I need y'all to follow us on Twitter. Yeah. It's hurting my self-confidence.
And go join the Facebook group because that's where a lot of fun is happening. UFO pictures over Oxford.
That's right.
We got polls. We got news. We got, contests.
General mayhem.
It's a blast. And you're missing out if you're not a member.
That's right.
Go have a great week, everybody. And we look forward to seeing you next week. We're out of here.
This has been a Very Odd production. Thanks for listening.